Hey, Wumburg World Entertainment, Star Wars, yeah, that's still a thing that people talk about from time to time, has a new story. Now, I wasn't actually going to talk about this story because, quite frankly, I have no interest in Disney Star Wars anymore. Not that I ever really had interest in Disney Star Wars. The videos normally don't really do well, so this one probably won't do all that great either. But the only reason I'm actually making this video now is because this story has actually gotten insane and funny, because it's like, what is going on here? And it's hilarious. But what is the story overall, and what is the part that has me wanting now to kind of do the video on it? Well, the story you've probably already seen other creators talk about. You've probably seen the articles about it and all that stuff. Is of course this idea that Adam Driver came forward and said, oh, I pitched an idea for a Star Wars movie to Lucasfilm and Disney shot it down. And that movie was going to be with the fantastic name of The Hunt for Ben Solo. And it was going to be a direct sequel to The Rise of Skywalker, which makes absolutely no sense then because he's dead, but okay. But he had a director in place of Steven Soderbergh and all of this stuff, and apparently everybody at Lucasfilm loved the idea. Kathleen Kennedy was on board, Dave Filoni was on board, and all of this garbage. And they ran with excitement to the headquarters of Disney and handed a Bob Iger and another dude, and they went, yeah, no, we're not making this. And the fans, so-called air quote fans, are losing their minds, saying, how dare they rob us off this movie? And now all the people who used to give out to us about attacking Bob Iger are the ones attacking Bob Iger. And this is hilarious. And the reason apparently the movie was turned down from said Bob Iger and stuff is because they couldn't figure out how exactly Ben Solo was alive. Didn't seem to matter when it came to Palpatine, seen as Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, pretty much died of embarrassment. That's the only real explanation I think we need, is he died of embarrassment, where Palpatine was thrown down a power core shaft into the power core to a station that then exploded. But questions weren't asked about that part, apparently. Here's where it gets hilarious. They've taken it up a notch now, these lunatics, the Raylos, and that's who it is. The Raylos are out there now going, how dare you rob us off this movie? Is the fact that they've now flown a plane over Disneyland, well, Disney Studios. However, they did it in California. Little do they know, Bob Iger and Lucasfilm stuff is all run in Florida, not California. But Collider apparently found the fan, and that's important because this whole thing is about fans' excitement surrounding this project, and fans want this made, and the fans now flew a banner over Disney Studios in Burbank. No, it was a fan, not fans, fan. And it's funny because it's like the article here is saying, like, in fact, the excitement surrounding The Hunt for Ben Solo, a project which at this point will likely never get made, far exceeds that of the upcoming titles like The Mandalorian and Grogu and Starfighter and the planned Rey movie. Yeah, okay. Excitement on Twitter from a bunch of lunatics is not the real fan base. So hold your jets there now and relax. So now fans have made, now remember how this sounds, now fans have made their voices heard by flying a save hashtag The Hunt for Ben Solo banner over Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. Collider tracked down the fan who commissioned it, Liana Alf. So yeah, clearly a Raylo, who said this is this person's reasoning for doing this, and this is hilarious. She said, I'm assuming it's a she, probably a blue-haired land whale that thinks it's a they them or some weird crap, but she said anyway, I really hope this banner shows the decision makers at Disney that the fans really do want this. I hope this banner shows just how much the character of Ben Solo means to so many of us, and that the fans really do want this movie. Okay, so the fans really hope this banner shows the decision makers that the fans really do want this, and that the character means so much to the fans. This is one person. Fans didn't organize this banner. One person did, commissioned it, paid for it, had it flown over, and flew it over the wrong place to where these decisions would be made. You want Bob Iger to see it, you need to fly it and do it in Florida, not California. But what fans? Now, what I love is the fact as well that she's saying the character of Ben Solo means so much to us. You mean the character you had at the end of the last movie in a trilogy for about 4 minutes? Because that was pretty much all of Ben Solo you got. Everyone else was Kylo Ren, not Ben. Ben was pretty much gone at that stage. When you're watching the original trilogy and you're watching Darth Vader, you're not thinking of Anakin, you're thinking of Vader until the helmet comes off after he kills Palpatine, or at least thought he killed Palpatine. Thanks Disney Star Wars for that one. You're not looking, and you never did look at him as Anakin Skywalker. You always, even now, after the prequels, we watch him as Anakin. Once he's in that suit, we don't look at him as Anakin, we look at him as Darth Vader. Kylo Ren, very much, from start to almost finish of that trilogy, was Kylo Ren. So the fact that they're saying the character of Ben Solo meant so much to them, no it didn't. And why are these fans not looking at it from the point of view as well of, hang on, he's dead, so what would the hunt be? Now, here's the other thing, and it's interesting because apparently he brought this idea to Bob Iger and stuff in 2021, I think he said, and that's when it was turned down. Did they not have a flushed out idea? Because they're saying quite clearly Bob Iger turned it down, and this other guy, I can't remember the other guy's name, I think it's Dan something, he's one of the other heads of Disney, said that they couldn't understand how Ben Solo would be alive because he died in the last movie. Where then was Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh explaining this? Clearly they didn't, because clearly they pitched an idea. Now he's saying they wrote a script and stuff. I highly doubt that, because how would you not be presenting them with the full story that would describe how Ben Solo has returned? The fact that if Bob Iger saying, I don't understand how he's alive, how if they have a script they can't just turn to that page and go, here's how he is, and explains it. So the idea that they're saying we presented a script to Lucas, you might have handed in a transcript, you know, like the idea, the outline of it, but not a fully formed, completed script. So, and Adam Driver was saying it was one of the coolest scripts that he'd ever been a part of. Okay, interesting. It's still like, it's an idea that's just stupid, not needed, and ridiculous. And the fact that he's saying like their character means so much and he really enjoyed making it, and the story with Kylo and all this type of stuff, and his journey was so important and great to fulfill. And it's like, well, there's the other issue. You did fulfill it. You fulfilled it by the character dying at the end. So his story has ended. But now you want to bring him back. Why? That's my main question. Why? Do I believe half of this stuff, what Adam Driver's saying? No. Like, he probably pitched an idea that would give him something to actually do. But when he keeps saying, like, I loved that movies, I loved the character and stuff like that, I doubt that, because he never really spoke all that highly of it. And they never had a plan for any of these characters. And that's quite evident when you watch the trilogy. The fact that the second movie, ignored everything from the first movie, the third movie, erased basically everything the second movie did and tried to re-establish things from the first movie and all of that garbage. So it was a mess. There was never a plan, but this idea that fans are crying out for, save this movie and stuff, by one person flying a banner over the wrong part of Disney is hilarious. Movie's never going to happen. The Kylo freaks, what are they called? Raylos. Yeah, they can go screw off with their weirdness and sickness. Remember, these are the people, we call them Kylos because they want Rey and Kylo Ren to get together, or Raylos, whatever. Remember, this is important when you think of this. They're not talking about the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey being together. They are talking and wanting Adam Driver to be with Daisy Ridley. That's real. You can even look that up. The fact that they even try to get him, Adam Driver, to divorce his wife so he could go in a relationship with Daisy Ridley. That's the freaks who want this movie. And they're the only people who want this movie. So I just think it's hilarious. What do you guys think? Would you be interested in seeing a movie that's, especially with the title of The Hunt for Ben Solo? You're pretty much doing that throughout the entire trilogy for Disney, because was that not The Hunt for Ben Solo? Because they were literally, hey, Kylo Ren's Ben Solo, which you find out in the first movie, and it's like, I suppose they're hunting from there on in Ben Solo. Make it make sense. I don't know. Let us know what you think about it. What the hell do you think about the fan flying a plane with a banner over Disney Studios in Burbank? Because that's clearly where they think all the decisions are made. Let me know what your feelings are on this. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Hit the hype button and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.